Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Native Drums. I'm Josilia Williams, sitting in for Reverend Dr. Ralph W. Canty Sr. here at the Savannah Grove Baptist Church. And here I have today as our special guest, Representative Robert Williams, House District 62.
62.
All
You got
right.
it. You got it
How
right.
are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you are.
I am. I'm great. I'm great. It's wonderful to have you here with Native Drums. You're always on the radio show with me over at 105.1. But it's great to have you here
Well,
today.
I'm happy to be here.
Ah,
And thanks
yes.
for the invite.
Oh, you're so welcome. Now, we want to talk about your baby, which is the Families Engagement Program. We know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the State House, and we may talk a little bit about that, but I want to talk about the Families Engagement Program. And it says empowering families, building stronger communities. So what motivated you to begin this program?
Wow. What a good question. What a good question. Well, what happened was back in 1998, I started the Fatherhood and Families Engagement Program here in Florence. And basically, I was tasked with reconnecting fathers back in the life of their kids through the court system. And we've been pulling young men from East Florence, West Florence, South Florence, North Florence, and we've been grouping up, coming together, doing curriculums on ways of taking care of their kids and taking care of their families. And that's where I first got the idea. I was working at Lee Correction Institution over there at the prison.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I was a counselor. I was a drug counselor, and I ran into a lot of men. I was in the pod of 1,500 guys in the section, and it called Florence. They got unit. They called the Florence unit over at Lee Correction, and guys come to me all the time. You know, when I was counseling and sharing with me how they want to get involved in the life of their kids.
Right.
Yeah. So once I left the prison, I started the Fatherhood and Families Engagement Program here in Florence here. So, and just to kind of speed things up, that started in 1998. I was called off to war in 2004.
Oh, yes, you are a veteran.
Yeah, I'm a
Thank
veteran.
you for your service.
Thank you so much. And 2004, 2005, I've been away, and then I came back. And as you know, 2008, the economy went south. And doing that, we was transitioning, you know, because when I left, it wasn't, when I came back, it was different.
Right.
The organization, it was, you know, so we had different people. We kind of left people in charge, but, you know, they don't take care of things like you know. So to speed things up, and several years after the economy went south, we kind of shift. Matter of fact, my office was on Court Street. We ended up moving down to Florence Darlington Tech, and that's currently where our office is at now.
Okay.
At Florence Darlington Tech. So this became a birth out of, I just want to deal with families. I want to strengthen families. I want to make families whole. And what we did was, you know, we were focusing on fathers initially, but when I went to court, talked to these judges, talked to these families, talked to these mothers, we decided that we need to open it out to the entire family. Instead of just talking to guys, you get their side of it, but when you go to court, there's another side of the story, you know. And so we open it up to the entire family. So we do serve the entire family, the mother, the father, as well as the child. And our focus is really on the youth.
Okay.
In those households, you know.
Okay, wonderful. Because it says to empower, to educate, and equip families in the PD area and to build healthy relationships, become responsible citizens, and foster self-sufficiency. So that's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of work, but I think if we can get families to the point where they can support one another, take care of one another within that house structure, you know, and giving some of these ladies some support, because, you know, for many years and still now today, women take the load. They carry the load.
Yes,
And you know
yes,
it.
yes,
They
yes.
carry the load. So, but just think about how better life can be if they had that additional support
Right.
within that household.
That's right.
That additional income, that additional emotional support, that additional physical and spiritual support. How would that family look then? So it's always better to have the income of two than one.
Yes, yes. And when all entities are working together as one unit.
Yes.
That
It makes
makes,
it a little lighter for everybody.
yes.
And it also help the kid to kind of get on some standing where they don't have to struggle, they don't have to do all the things that kids do in order to survive and to make it in life.
Giving them security.
Exactly.
That security that they need.
Yeah.
So you said that youth services is one of your main focuses. So I know that you and your staff or the people that work with you, I do know of some of the ladies and gentlemen that go with you to the different schools. So let's talk about that, about your visitations to the schools in the PD.
Okay. Yeah, well, we certainly are in different schools. We go there to talk with the youth, where they at, basically. But we're there to supply and to give them guidance. We're not teachers.
That's right.
We're community people who are volunteering our time to go into schools and to talk with youth about some of the struggles that they're having, some of the things that they're dealing with, but also to give them that village outlook.
Right.
Because we are a village. And sometimes, our youth nowadays, they use social media as their village, part of their village.
Yes.
And but in reality, we have to, back in the day, there was a church, there was the pastor at the church, there was the school, there was the principal at the school, a counselor at the school, in the community.
Yes.
You had somebody who running the grocery store or something, working in the store. Somebody.
The neighbors.
Your neighbors.
Yes.
So that community aspect, we kind of lost that because now people don't know their neighbors.
You're right.
One time when I was coming up, our neighbors helped take care of us.
That's right.
And then when we get out of line, they put us back in check.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but now, people don't even know who living next door.
You're right. You're exactly right. I can remember growing up, we knew the neighbor, everybody.
That's right.
On each block. The block to the left, the block to the right, the block in front of, because we lived on a corner, block in front and behind us, and on the next street.
That's right.
But now I know the neighbor next door and the neighbor on this side.
Right.
But the rest of the street, I do not know.
Yeah, and I remember years ago when I was small, and my father was he was an all-around guy, so we used to kill hogs.
Okay.
You don't know about that.
No.
We used to kill hogs, and not only that, we used to farm. We used to plant beans and peas and corn, and when we do, and when we harvest that, when we kill hogs, we make sure our neighbors have some.
Yeah.
We share what we had. So
It's like we need to go back to that.
Hey.
The way things are going
I'm telling
today.
Yeah, but those were the good old days where people share, what they had, and they didn't have much, but the little bit they did have, they share with others.
That's right. That's right.
You'll be amazed how a bucket of peas or beans can do to a family that don't have anything.
That's right.
But we came up in that kind of environment.
Right. So what are the reactions of the children when you all go into the schools to visit? How do they receive you?
Well, the kids, matter of fact, we just went into Williams today.
Okay.
And, at first they were a little apprehensive, but once we did our icebreaker,
okay,
kind of get to know them, share names and, about the person, they begin to open up. Kids are curious, they may not say much, but they're watching and hearing and listening to whatever you're saying. And you may think they're not listening, and they may appear that they're not listening, but they're listening to whatever you're saying. And some hear it and some don't. You know, I took my grandson with me today. He's in 11th grade, and I had him to kind of share with the group.
Oh, great!
Because they're close to the age, so they connect.
That's right.
You know, they can connect because in terms of what's going on in the world. So, but usually the kids are receptive. They're open. They want to know, and as I share with them today, you know, we're there to expose them to the things that they may not know.
Right.
And I told them today, I said, I wish I had someone when I was in the 7th and 8th grade to come by and tell me about the different options of job career that I could have went into.
Right.
Because, you know, you don't really, at that age, you really don't be thinking about the future or what you want to be or what you want to do. Some kids do, but for the most part, a large portion of the kids don't even be thinking about that.
That's right.
But I think if I had that opportunity, there's no telling what I would have been. I could have been a doctor. I could have been an engineer. I could have been a pilot. Any other career options, you know. But I think as soon as we can give these kids exposure to these different career options, and we also do that through sports.
Right.
Yeah, because we know that kids who are in sports have a tendency to hear things better, and they exercise that through they want to try to please their coach. They want to do the right thing, you know. So we have a piece of our program deals with the different sports environment and just giving them the basics of golfing, you know, the basics of playing tennis, the basics of playing basketball. You know, we're not trying to make them professionals, but we want to expose them. And hopefully, you know, when they get in high school, they end up falling in some of those tracks.
That sounds great. Planting that seed.
Planting that seed.
And I noticed that you listed golfing first.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later before we leave. But planting that seed is what's needed, and the exposure.
Exactly.
You're right. So I see here in your core services for youth, you have fitness and training, as you said, which represents your sports mentoring, guiding it. So that's when you're going into the schools. What other different activities that you may have over the course of the year for young people where you can mentor them or they can come and be active in a situation?
Well, I just told our staff that, you know, coming up, maybe we're going to start this beginning of the year, but each month, I want to do a workshop or seminar for our youth.
Okay.
On something that they may not know, something they may know, but bring in the experts to that deals with these issues that we're going to be talking about from month to month. Do a little breakfast with them, just to kind of do a little social mingling and kind of get to know them and them get to know each other. But I think we need to make sure our kids know each other. And I think that's very important at an early age, because if they don't, they become fighting against each other. You know, we've been having some shootings and all around us, you know, just recently within the last week or two, you know.
Wow.
So I think we have to teach our kids how to get along. We talk about relationships, how to build stronger relationships, not only with your family, but with people outside of your family.
That's right.
You got to be able to socialize, you know. And I know sometimes the social media is not a good place to do that, but it is there, and we have to make good of it, you know, because social media can be good or bad. It all depends what side of the fence you're on.
That's right.
So, you know, because so we need to teach our kids how to get along, how to work together, how to work as a team in order to accomplish certain goals.
Right. So now here I see you have youth volunteer programs where you encourage the youth to give back to the community and gaining valuable work experience. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's important. It's very important that we teach our kids they don't have to get paid for everything they do.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
We coming up in a money society, but we have to we have to train them and give them those skills, saying that, look, for every task you do, mama shouldn't have to pay you to take out the trash. Mama shouldn't have to pay you to pick up your clothes, your dirty clothes, and put them in the dirty dumpster. But there's responsibility that we have to really charge our kids with in terms of teaching them to give back, and not only inside of the house of giving back, but outside of the house, do something for somebody. Help some lady to take her groceries to her car.
Right.
Open the car door. Open the door to the store. You seeing someone walking into the store, let them walk first. Open the door and let her go in first.
That's right.
You don't have to be the first one in and don't even hold the door. Just basic things that we done kind of got away from as a society and as human beings. We just kind of forgot about what we should be doing.
Just teaching them basic manners.
Basic manners, basic respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is good. Now let's go to our community programs. Financial literacy. Oh my goodness. Financial literacy is needed. I found that among our young men, that financial literacy, at least I run into a couple of situations lately with young men who need that financial literacy. It's like they can't grasp what it is that they need to do in order to, line their finances up.
Yeah. Well, I think our problem as young men, especially young black males, is just that we don't understand budgeting. We just don't know what it is because we buy, we purchase, and we spend, and we get, but whatever we get, we spend. So I think there are times when we just spend what we have without trying to, let it last so that we can, always have something, but we'll spend all we have, and then, so, and money has become an object where folks want it more and more, especially when you don't have it, and especially when kids see other kids have it and they don't have it, they want it, and they want to try to get it. So I think, and I know that writing checks, that's basic stuff like writing checks or using a debit card, sometimes our kids just don't know because we haven't really been taught the basics of how to handle money in a greater sense.
Right. So this is good. You're able to train the children, train families how to manage their money, budget, like you said, and to build wealth for themselves and for their families.
Yeah.
Even like my mom, and I was talking to I think I was talking to Cash about this. How my mom, she didn't tell me, but she showed me by example as to how to have something for the legacies.
Right.
And so when she passed, all of my children had land or money or something that she left to them as well as myself. So she showed me by example what I needed to do.
Yeah.
So now, praise God, I'm trying to work on that for my grandbabies.
Amen.
The same thing. So I think that if we as adults would embrace that, what you're teaching, and begin, even if you don't talk to the children, but we do need to talk to them, but show them by example as to what it is that needs to be done, even with saving.
Yeah.
Because some of us, if you save $5 a week, you'll be surprised. What you end up with.
And that's so important. That's so important, but we don't do enough of it.
Yeah.
Some of us do it. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
Some folks do it, but when you don't have, you don't have. And it's hard to do it when you don't have.
You don't have. You're right. You're right, because I've been there too.
Yeah. So, but if you have, you got to know how to do it. And it's always good to see a sermon than to hear one.
Yes. Yes.
So your mom show you a sermon, than told you about one. But so we learn more by doing. by doing than we hear. So that was a great example that you just shared that kids can benefit from. But everybody don't have a mother like yours, and everybody's not you. So
That's right.
so therefore that means it goes lacking.
It goes lacking
when you don't have that.
And that's where that instruction comes in.
Yeah.
Because even if you can save 50 cents,
Yeah.
Now, rebuilding credit and home ownership. That's one of your other entity programs you have on here.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we're facing within our communities is that we do a lot of renting instead of owning. We rent trailers, we rent houses, and we don't own those things. We have to put our position in ourselves in the position of starting to own stuff. But you can't. Just like you said earlier, it's going to be very difficult to own when you're spending everything you got.
Yeah.
It takes, and if you're not in it for a long period of time, so it's so important to make sure that, when we're talking about home ownership and stuff like that, you got to have a goal. You got to set goals and work towards those goals,
Right.
Because a lot of times we'll start something, but we won't finish. Or we make a good start now. We'll do about.
I know.
We'll start paying for a house for about 15 years, and after 15, 20 years, then we wanna. Oh man, I need to do something different. But that's the time you really need to stick and stay, because you don't have but a 30-year mortgage. You got 25, and if you be consistent and double pay it, you can even pay it off before the 30 years. So we have to teach ownership. We have to help folks to realize that they can own these things instead of just renting these things from others.
Yes. All right. Everyone, they have so many different programs here for families: safe driving classes and environmental awareness and protection. Now, that environmental awareness, that's something that our government is not really pro-environment.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And what we did was, and if you ever have a chance to go to Darlington Middle School,
Okay.
we have an outside piece where we deal with the environment, and it falls under, I kind of started it, and Brighter Future is the name of the organization that kind of helps run that. Dr. Frederick. Jim Frederick actually kind of spearheaded that over there at the Darlington Middle School. But the environment is very important. I know different people have different views about the environment, but I believe that if we can take care of our environment, that means we can live longer. Not only that, the earth can, be sustained. But when we start destroying our environment by any means, and that's why I hate when people just literally throw paper down on the ground, or a soda cap on the ground. Who they expecting to pick it up? Who are you going to pay to pick it up? And then we worry about taxes, because if you're gonna be throwing this down, somebody got to pick it up.
Do it.
But the thing is, with that in mind, when we throw things down on the ground, when we trash our places or trash our highways, somebody got to go around and pick that up. If not, the animals will start picking it up and eating it, and they'll die from the process. Within large stuff in their system. And you'll see them you'll see them dying eventually out. The fishes in the water, the birds,
the squirrels, because something's going on with these squirrels around here. They are not as healthy as they used to be. I've watched them.
I'm telling you, so they're eating some of the stuff that we just throw out, which is not good for them.
Oh my goodness! So teaching families how to protect the environment. That's great. And you did talk about job training previously. A little bit. You talked a little bit on that. So how do you all facilitate that?
The job training piece?
Yes.
Well, basically through the exposure, you know, we want to try to work with the kids or have them to be with, you know, for example, if they want to, if a kid want to be a doctor or dentist,
Yeah.
you know, we would try to connect them with just sitting in the, you know, just walking with them throughout the day,
Yeah.
just to kind of get exposed of
Exposed to
what
what
dentist,
happens.
what, you know, and I know the different schools do it once or twice a year, where they allow the student to go where the profession
Yeah,
is at.
they do
You
because
know,
they come to the radio
they
station.
oh, okay, so you have
And they spend the
Yeah.
day, several hours.
Yes,
And
yes.
so I'll let them produce a segment.
Okay,
And I'll play it on the radio on Saturdays.
Yes, yeah. So exactly. So that's the kind of mirroring we are trying to do, and to try to, so kids can get the real live experience on what they really want to do in life, what they want to be.
Yeah, that's like
Shadowing.
going to the shadowing, going to the state house and spend a couple of
Yes,
hours
yes.
in the legislature.
Sure, to get a feel of what's going on, what's happening, and how the process works.
Right, that's right, and that's good. That's good. Now, veterans and seniors, you have programs for veterans. Of course, you have programs for your veterans because you are a veteran.
I am a veteran. I am a veteran.
Yeah, so
I'm a combat veteran at that.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk about that, the veterans and senior programs that you have.
Okay. Well, as I said, I'm a combat veteran. And after I came back from the war in 2005, some of the guys that served with me actually committed suicide.
Oh my!
Because it was hard for them to readjust to our community after spending 18 months in an environment where they had to kind of try to live.
Wow.
So and as you know, veterans have one of the highest suicide rates in the country. Veterans. Because it's hard. When they get over there, and when we're in combat, we become really, really family. We really become really family. Because we depend on each other.
Right.
For the next day. Our life depends on one another.
I can't even imagine it.
To live the next day, and you have to have someone who's really going to protect your interests throughout the night, throughout the day, So we become real close family in that type of environment. And when we came back, it was just so hard for some of them to readjust back, and sometimes, matter of fact, when I was over there, we had to send some home because they wasn't fit for battle.
Wow.
Because they were thinking about home, their minds back here in the States, and we over there fighting a war.
Oh wow!
So
they can make big mistakes.
And put everybody else in danger.
That's right.
But anyway, so what we do actually, we have a chance of talking to veterans, trying to get veterans involved. Try to help them with their benefits. We connect them with the right resources that they need.
Okay.
And kind of explain to them some of the services and benefits that they can receive just by being a veteran. Many of us suffer with PTSD. It goes and comes, but certainly those are the things that we want to try to help educate our veterans on. The VA has a plethora of benefits, but if you don't know, you don't go.
Right.
So if you don't know, you just suffer and never receive the benefits that they have. So what we're doing, we're trying to share that information with our veterans and kind of help them in the process, even through their filing of claims and stuff like that. So. We have those connections, have people in place to help them.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And last but not least, our seniors. Our seniors.
Well, yeah, our seniors are, you know.
You do have some seniors helping you and volunteering
Yes,
to
yes,
go to
yes,
the
yes.
different schools with
Sure,
you.
sure. Well, seniors and babies.
Okay.
That's my heartstring. Well, you know, because, you know, they say once adult, twice a child.
My son tried to pull that on me on Saturday at the Pecan Festival. Tried to pull it on me. You know what I told her? I
Wait.
said, back at you. He has children too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, seniors are special people. You know,
Right.
once you live to be a certain age, you know, I think the quality of life should be there for you. I think people who are seniors shouldn't have to struggle and do the things that they do to survive,
Oh,
just to live
yes,
their
that's
last
right.
golden years in agony.
That's
You
right.
know, I just think that life is full of happiness, you know, and so what we do, we visit some of the senior places, senior centers. Matter of fact, we visit, you know, there are some veterans in some of the senior centers that we're planning programs for Veterans Day. As Veterans Day come up, you know, we'll
Okay.
be out doing different ceremonies and different programs with veterans. They're veterans, but also they're seniors, you know, they're
Right.
senior individuals. And I just think that, you know, it's the community responsibility to help take care of our elderly.
That's right.
You know, for those who taking care of us. So the least that we can do is to take care of them. And I told my mom when my mom passed away about 4 years ago,
Okay.
and she always say, "Y'all put me in the nurse home." No, you know, we don't do that. We don't do that here. You know,
No.
even though she felt that if she go in a nursing home, she'll alleviate the hardship on us.
Right.
But she took care of us when we couldn't take care of ourselves. So
That's right.
why we want to put her in a nursing home when she can't take care of herself? So me and my brothers, we ended up taking care of our mom at the house.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, until her last day. Matter of fact, till her last day, we were there supporting her in her.
Well, I'm with you on that. I did the same thing.
Yes.
I'm with
But
you on
everybody
that.
don't have that mindset to do so
No, they
of their
don't.
parents. You know, after all these years, your parents, you know, raised you and did the best that they could for you, and then once they get to the point where they can't really take care of themselves, we want to stick them in a place where.
Yeah. Like you say, they don't have that mindset. And you can even find siblings, you'll find one that'll have that mindset, and the others, one or two of them may come and help you. Then there are others who won't even look your way, or, you know, I don't have time, or
Right.
yeah, that's just
Right.
the individuality of people and how they think and how they
And you would think
live.
family would be more
That's right.
succinct in terms of decision like that. You know,
Yes,
because,
you're right. You're right.
But you're right. It just they're different.
I was my mom's only child, so it was all on me, which was fine.
Yes. And you did it with grace.
Yes. And then I had my grandbaby,
Yes.
my children
Right.
there, so they helped too, and my aunt would come down from Washington and help as well.
That's good.
So
That's good.
we did it
To
together.
maintain. That's good. That's good. And that's what family's all about.
Yes.
Supporting each other when we need you, when they need you.
Amen. Amen. So families, remember that. That's
Yes.
what it's about. Supporting each other when you're in need. When
Right.
you're in need. Yes, because see here, you include transportation. You take them to the medical appointments and go grocery shopping for them too.
Yeah, we transport whenever we need to.
Yeah.
You know. Matter of fact, and I was just sharing with the guys. You know, we're gonna at some point we're gonna purchase us, like I told them, we need to purchase at least 2 vans.
Right.
Just for transport. You know. We can use one for our youth, and we can use the other one for
The
seniors.
seniors.
Right? Yeah. So because there are youth who can't get to their practice or sport. If they're
Yeah,
playing
that's
stuff,
right.
the family they don't play, and they're good at playing. It's just that they don't have transportation.
That's it.
And the same for seniors who may need to go to the doctor, and the family cannot really take them, but they really need to go. Instead of missing appointment,
Yes.
if they let us know, we'll be able to kind of get them there.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, before we go, let's talk about your golf tournament.
Oh.
It's every year. It's an annual thing in October, right?
Yes. How you heard about that?
Oh, you know.
You got ears in the back of your head.
Yeah, I heard it every day at work, which was awesome. I think Mark. Yeah.
Mark did a great job. I'm just telling you, he's a great guy. He did a good job. We had a blast. We were targeted for 25 teams. We had 23 teams.
Okay, that's good.
So it was a good crowd. We really had a phenomenal time.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we really did. And and everybody was well pleased. And the golf course was really nice. And the day, you couldn't pay for a day like that because the day was so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
It was so beautiful. The weather was, that morning we teed up around 8:15, but it was a little chilly coming up. But by 10, 11 o'clock, you was taking off your jacket if you had one on, you're just coming out of it. But it was a real good golf tournament. And certainly I thank all the vendors and all the sponsors who really helped us pull this through.
Yes.
So we had a really great time.
Great, wonderful. And that was in support of the Families Engagement Program.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Well, speaking of that, I bought you a shirt because I want to make sure. I wanted to make sure you wear it now. You can't just get a golf shirt without wearing it. That is our emblem.
Oh, how nice.
Family Engagement Program. And as you can see, the family.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is so nice.
And that's supposed to be a cross.
It is. I was about to say
that's a
the
cross. But the other portion it should be a hand. See, if you look at that,
yes,
that's the hand.
I see it.
That holding the family together.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you so much.
And I also bought one for Dr. Canty.
Okay.
I can't leave him out. Because the last time I saw him at the funeral of, whose funeral was it? It was at Ideal Funeral Home. My good friend.
Alan, Garnett Allen?
Garnett Allen. Yeah, Garnett was my friend. He was a good friend of mine. And, I saw Dr. Kennedy there.
Well, I'll make sure that he gets this.
Please do.
Thank you so much, and I'm going to put mine on tomorrow.
Okay. Now, when you put it on, you got to do a selfie.
Okay.
And send it to me.
I will.
To verify
I wore it.
And I need to send it out on my social media saying, look, guess this.
Well, I will do that.
Okay.
I will do that. Oh, this has been enjoyable.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. And you have really enlightened us on the Families Engagement Program. And so if anyone needs to talk with you in reference to this, how can they get in contact?
Well, certainly, Tony Stevenson is our executive director.
Okay.
And pretty much he can answer any of your questions or anything that you may have. But they can contact us at familyengagement.com.
Okay.
It's a website. We have a website. But also they can call the office. The office number is 843-413-2790.
Okay.
And there's a young lady there named Effie Timpson who will answer the phone, who will be glad to speak with you on any matters about the organization or about anything that you have questions on. Okay,
wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming to spend time with us here at Native Drums.
Well, thank you.
And I look forward to you coming to my radio show so we can talk about what's going on in the legislature.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll be more than happy to.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here at Native Drums. This is Josilia Williams sitting in for the Reverend Dr. Ralph W. Canty here at the Savannah Grove Baptist Church.